Hey everybody. I just want to come on real quick. I've taken a good week or so to really think about things. Um, I did a video about the Cummings, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel bad about it. I really do. Um, I'm not perfect, and when I got onto the Cummings channel, I immediately thought that they were gay. And to be honest, I mean, give me a break here. I mean, you get on your channel, you look gay. I mean, anybody that doesn't know you that gets on your channel is gonna think you're gay. You know what I mean? I mean, give me a break here on that one. I mean, give me a break on that one. It's not a judgmental thing. It's just, if it looks like a duck, it's probably a duck. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. It's not a, oh, you're gay and you know what I mean? Like, I'm just continuing to say that you're gay, like you're lying, like you're not trying to change. That's not what I was trying to say. I'm not always the best at articulating what I'm trying to say in my videos, so I want to make this video to clarify that I am sorry if I judged you in any way wrongfully. And I feel really bad about saying what I said and the way that I handled it. I'm not always best at articulating and handling situations the way that I should. What I'm more worried about is not the fact of whether you're gay or not, or whether you're handling your sexuality the way that you should be. What I'm more concerned about is spiritually, you holding hands with Derek Bros, skipping off into the woods spiritually, and getting blindsided by his Luciferian seductive spirit. And that's why I want you to go to my video that I did after the what video that says First Timothy. I want you to go to the First Timothy video because that video was apologizing to you about me judging your sexuality. If you are truly trying to change and you are trying your best to change back to the original way that you're supposed to be, and you're trying to change from the sin of homosexuality, then I am sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I am sorry. That's why I said in your video and in the comments in your video, if I'm wrong, then I'm sorry. But if I'm right, meaning if you are gay, then at least I did the right thing by telling you that is wrong to be gay. If you're not gay, then I'm sorry. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry. But seriously, give me a break here. Being one of the first, coming onto your channel and only being on there for a week, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. So when I first got on your videos and I first started watching, I'm thinking it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's most likely a duck. That's what I was thinking. And if you are trying to change that the best you know how and the best you can, then I am sorry from the bottom of my heart. I truly am. But my main concern is you walking into the darkness with Global Witness. That's my main concern. And I love how nobody watched my first Timothy video of me saying I'm sorry if I judged you wrongfully in any way. It just comes to a shock to me that for 3 to 4 weeks, you're saying that Derek is a Luciferian and all this stuff, and you're saying that Derek Bros is no good and that he's a liar and all this other stuff. And then Monument Valley comes up, and literally the Navajo said he's a Gnostic Luciferian. And then a week after that happens, all of a sudden, you make a video like you're all buddy buddy with him. Something isn't right there. That's where I'm like, okay, it's one thing if I judged you in your sexuality and you're trying to change and you're trying to do right, okay, and okay, maybe I'm wrong about that part. But what? And that's why my video was like, what? Because there's something not right about you all of a sudden being buddy buddy with Global Witness. And listen, there is a lot of distractions on YouTube for a reason. There are a lot of fake Christians on YouTube, and they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're true wolves in sheep's clothing. They act like they're Christians, and they twist and they contort the Bible to try to get you lured in. And then once you're lured in, then they tell you all the little twists and turns and everything that they contort on the Bible to try to get you swayed. Then they see how easily you will sway. Then once they see how easily you will sway, they will lead you in the wrong direction. That's why we need to focus on Jesus and Jesus alone. We don't need to be going to Global Witness. We don't need to be going to Robin Henry Tees. We don't need to be going to SJD. We don't need to be going to Glop. We don't need to be going to a pastor or a minister or a church or to anybody like that. We need to be focusing on Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. He is the only one that can teach you. He's the only one that can guide your spirit in the right way. Not Eden Ministries, not David, not any of these guys. Now, is it interesting to go to their channels and see what they have to say sometimes? Maybe. But they are not who saves you. They cannot save you. They are not perfect. And Eden, you're so quick to say, oh, well, Ashley, I just love how she points everybody's sin out and all this. You're the only one, Eden, that said that you are without sin. You don't do any wrong. I never said I didn't do any wrong, and I'll be the first one to come on here and say I'm sorry. I'll be the first one to come on here and tell you when I'm wrong, and I'll be the first one to say I'm sorry when I am wrong. If I'm wrong. But there is something wrong when you say for 3 weeks that Global Witness is Luciferian and watch out and all this stuff to everybody, and then he goes to Monument Valley and the Navajos call him the Gnostic Luciferian, and basically everything adds up to what we've been saying for 3 to 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden you're buddy buddy with him. And I don't know how many times I've seen this. I've seen this with Robin Henry Tees. I've seen this with Glop. I've seen this with the Seder twins. I've seen this with a lot of people on here. And I'm like, wow. And I get it. You guys want to love each other. And you guys want to be, I just want to make sure that I love them. I just want to make sure that I love them. that I correct them in love. These people know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And they will play the, oh, you're supposed to love each other card to get you all wrapped up and soaked back in. They know what they're doing. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. They know what they're doing. And all they have to do is play that thou shalt not judge card or the love everybody card. And then they make you feel so bad for it too. They're like, well, don't judge me. Aren't we supposed to love each other and not judge each other and all this? Yes, we are. But I tell you what, I'm going to love these people from afar. I'm going to pray for these people. I'm going to pray for Global Witness. I'm going to pray for Robin Henry Tees. I'm going to pray for the Sater twins. I'm going to pray for SJD. I'm not going to go buddy up with them just because they played the thou shalt not judge card or we should all love each other card. I'm not going to make them make me feel like I don't really know what's going on. Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't judge them. Oh, well, you know. Poor little person, poor little Robin, poor little satyrs, poor little... No, they know what they're doing. And I'm trying to warn you guys. And maybe I didn't handle it in the best way with the Cummings. I admit that. I got a little too much talking about the whole gay thing when my whole point was, why are you skipping into the woods with Global Witness? That smells a little funny to me. A little worrisome to me. That was my main point. And I'm sorry if I judged your sexuality in any way that was wrong. If you are truly trying to turn away from your LGBT and gay thing, then I'm sorry. Okay, so I was 50% wrong, 50% right. 50% wrong, 50% right about that video that I did. And I just did it in the wrong way. I should have redid the video, and I should have redid it, and I should have done it right. I should have said it the way that I wanted to say it, like I'm doing it now. Because sometimes I get all... I don't know what the emotion is. Sometimes I get all like, what? And I don't ever know what to say. And I'm telling you, I'm ADD. I get all onto one thing when I should be talking about this other thing. I should have been talking about more about not skipping off into the woods with Global Witness spiritually instead of the gay thing. Because if you guys are trying to turn from your ways, then I'm sorry. And like I said, I will be the first one to come on here and say that I was wrong. Mr. Eden, Mr. Perfect, somebody who never sins and does no wrong, would never come on here and say, I'm sorry I did this wrong, or I'm sorry I sinned, or this or that. Because you told me yourself, Mr. Eden, that you don't ever do any wrong. That you're sinless, you don't sin, and that you're perfect. You told me that. And then you want to come on my channel and say, oh, hypocrite, oh, Pharisee, oh, this and oh, that. But yet, I'll come on here and tell you I'm wrong. I'll come on here and apologize and say, hey, I'm sorry if I was wrong about your sexuality. I'm sorry if I was wrong about that. But my main concern is warning you about people like Global Witness, about people like SJD, about people like Robin Henry Tees and the Saters. if that's even their real names. And I will pray for them from afar. I'm not going to go skipping off holding hands with them in the woods, spiritually speaking, just because, oh, well, I gotta love them. I better not judge them. I better not this. I better not that. No! You're opening the door for bad things. And I also wanted to say before I end this live video, I'm not going to be on YouTube for a while. Jesus Christ wants me to focus on him and him alone. He doesn't want me to focus on Eden or anybody else on frickin' YouTube. And that's my fault, not anybody else's fault. It's my fault for getting all soaked up into Eden Ministries or to anybody's ministry more than Jesus Christ in my studies with Jesus Christ. That's my fault. Because every time I get on YouTube, I get all soaked up and I get distracted. I get distracted by these other channels. I get distracted by Eden Ministries. I get distracted by channels like Alpha Omega and Eden Ministries. And Robin Hood and the satyrs, and I get distracted by these channels, and then before I know it, I'm distracted from what I should be really doing with my life and my walk with Jesus. And I've been off YouTube for a little over a week now, and my relationship with Jesus has been so much closer, so much more perfected, so much more wisdom than any of you guys have given me. And all glory and all honor should always be to Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. And he has told me specifically to stay off of YouTube because he doesn't want me to be distracted by you. I truly do love you guys, but I'm not going to let it happen anymore. I have to do what he tells me to do. And if he tells me to stay off of YouTube, then I need to do it. I shouldn't even be on here right now. But I feel it in my heart to apologize to the Cummings about their sexuality. I'm sorry if I judged you in any way wrongfully. But I felt it as my duty to warn people of the people that I mentioned. Do not let these people distract you from what your true walk and duty and job is in Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. I don't care if they're a ministry. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they have good intentions or not. Do not let anybody distract you from what your real walk and job is in Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. I have to do what he tells me to do. And I have to come on here and tell the truth. I'm sorry if I judged anybody wrongfully in any way. And I'm not saying I'm never coming back, but I'm saying I ain't going to be on YouTube for a long time. It might be a year, it might be 2 years, I don't know how long. I stick to my guns. I don't sit there and one day, oh, these people are bad, not bad people, but these people are, let's just be real, all right? I'm going to share my whole testimony with you guys right now. And I'm going to try to do the best I can to tell you truthfully what has happened to me on YouTube. It's been a hard road on YouTube. When I first got on here, I was just watching videos. I didn't even know I could go live. And then I started watching Robin Hood. Or Robin's Hood, or whatever his name is now. And at first, I thought he was kind of cool, I thought he was kind of cool. I'm not even supposed to be on here, you guys. That's why I'm crying, because I feel like I'm letting Jesus down right now, because he told me not to be on here. But I also feel like I owe it to you guys to explain to you why I'm not on here anymore. And I don't want you guys worried about me either. Not that most of you even care anyway. Not all of you, but I know most of you, for the most part, don't even care. I'm not even supposed to be on here. Anyway, I didn't even know how to use YouTube when I first got on here and made an account. I just got on here watching videos and stuff, just kind of watching other videos, and I started watching Matthew and Time Watchman. I started watching Glop of Truth. I started watching Satyrs, Twins. And I met all these people through Robin. And, at first it was really cool, and, it was, I felt like I was fellowshipping with these people. And then, Robin kind of got on this whole Harold camping kick. And I couldn't agree with it. I just couldn't agree with the Harold camping thing. And I'm sure the Satyr twins will make a really great mocking video of me about this. Because they always do. That's alright. I'm used to it. So anyway, Robin got on this big Harold camping kick. And I didn't agree with it. And the minute I didn't agree with the Harold camping kick that Robin was on, I was a secret agent. And he called me all these names and made me look like a bad person and made me look like, I don't know, made me look stupid and said a lot of things about me and lied about me, and all because I didn't agree with his doctrine. Or I didn't agree with Harold Camping's doctrine. So then in turn, I made a couple videos, just joking around, saying I'm Secret Agent 56950. Just making fun. Because I've been a secret agent this whole time. Which is not true. And I started to realize that there was something wrong with Robin. That there was just something not right. And then I started going around to all the other people that I connected with through Robin. I started realizing that they were all connected in some way. And then this has been going on for a little over a year, off and on, and I just kind of just been connecting the dots. And I've kind of just been realizing that there's just something not right about it's just there's some kind of connection. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's some kind of dark connection with all these people. With Robin and the Satyrs and maybe even Jethro, definitely Justin. And maybe even Glop. I could be wrong about Glop. I'm not sure. I'm not willing to take the risk. I know that. I'm being really honest with you guys right now. I'm not trying to judge any of you guys. I'm speaking from the hip. Because this will be my last video for a while, and I want you guys to know why it's going to be my last video for a long while. And then I went through all that, and I would kind of, get away from Robin for a little while, and then I'd kind of, feel sorry for him or whatever, or somebody would say something, and, they'd throw the love card out there. They would throw the love card out there. They would throw the don't judge card out there. So I'd go back, I'd start watching Robin again, and I would start watching the people that are tied in with him again. And it only made me see more of who they were. And it would just smell even more not right. And my gut just keeps telling me that there's just something not right about it. There's just something not right. I don't know what it is, but there's just something not right about it, you guys. That's why I'm warning people about these people, because there's just something not right about these guys. They're like true wolves in sheep's clothing. I know I'm going to get a mocking video out of this. Tim Sater is going to do it. I know he's going to. He always does. I can feel it. I'm probably going to get attacked spiritually for this video too. Every time I talk about it, I get attacked spiritually and I get attacked on YouTube. That's not by chance. It's not by chance. If I wasn't right in some sort of way about it, then I wouldn't be getting attacked the way I do spiritually. Then I would go, okay, so I was telling you I'm ADD. So I went back to Robin. I'd start watching him off and on, and then I'd go, and then I'd be like, no, something doesn't smell right. So I'd quit watching him, and then they'd throw the love or the don't judge card out there. So I'd go back to him, and I'd start watching him again. And then I went back to him, and I started watching him again, and I found this SJD guy. He's called Overdue Champion now. This is really hard to talk about because I've had a lot of people say, don't talk about these people. They could kill you. They could this. They could that. This takes a lot of guts for me to come on here and talk about this. This is not something that is easy to talk about. So I went back to Robin's channel and I found this SJD guy. Robin was talking about him a lot. He said his name was Stephen James Deshawn. And I started watching Stephen. For about a week, I watched his channel. This was probably over a year ago, maybe about a year ago. And I watched his channel. It was before he was called the Overdue Champion. I can't remember what he was called then. I don't remember what he was called then. I'm sure it was some kind of extravagant name, I'm sure. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, I remember getting on there and him being like, I'm Jesus, and how he said he was the real commander-in-chief, and Robin said he was the seventh angel and out of Revelation, and Matthew from End Time Watchmen and Robin got in a big argument about, trying to prove who we were. Like, I was trying to prove that I was a real person, and Matthew was trying to prove that he was a real person. Which was sad that we would have to do that. Or feel like we had to do that. And ever since then, I told myself I was never going to anybody that claimed that they were an angel or anybody that claimed that they were Jesus. I was never going to listen to them. I was never going to let them distract me ever again. Ever. And I promised myself that anybody that was associated with these people, whether they had good intentions or not, whether they were innocent in it or not, or whether they got dragged back into it innocently or not, I was not going to associate myself, because I know in my gut that there's something not right. And this is just my testimony about what happened to me on YouTube and why I'm not going to be on here anymore, you guys, for a long while. I shouldn't say that I'm not going to be on here anymore, but I'm not going to be on here for a long while. And I'm not even started. I haven't even begun to tell you everything that's happened to me on here. That's just the beginning. And then I started talking to somebody on the telephone who was linked, or I should say friends or something like that, with Robin and, I don't know, SJD and the Satyrs and stuff, or at least he talks to him and is friends with him, and I don't know, I can't speak for the guy, and I'm not going to say his name. But he warned me about SJD. He told me that he was a con man and that I shouldn't say anything about him, and that if I do, he might come and kill me. And then shortly after that, Glop contacted me and was telling me about how the FBI got involved. And that's all I'm going to say about that part. Andrew went missing for a while, and I didn't really know why the FBI got involved, other than the fact that maybe, they were looking for Andrew because Andrew was missing, and I don't know what happened to him. Nobody knew what happened to him, and I don't have no idea what happened to him or still know what happened to him or had happened to him or anything. I don't know anything other than Glop called me and let me know that the FBI called him and was involved. And I just assumed it was because Andrew was missing. And I was really worried that maybe somebody did something to him because maybe he spoke up and he said something he shouldn't have said. And I was only assuming because of what this other guy called and told me that SJD could kill me if I talk smack on him or whatever. I'm glad Andrew is alive and he's okay. Because we were worried about him. We really were. Even though something didn't smell right, like, we were really worried about him. Like, me and Glop and a lot of other people were really worried about him. Like, we really were. And we were just trying to figure out what was going on. And if we should be worried about our lives. You guys have no idea what has happened. And after everything that's happened, they just want me to be all buddy up back. And I refuse. And it's not because I don't love or because I judge. It's because something does not smell right. You know it, and I know it. I don't care how much you want to love these people. They're not little goth kids in high school that you're trying to help. They're not little emo kids that you're trying to help. That's not who these people are. These people know what they're doing. My gut and everything in my spirit tells me, don't do it. It's a distraction. It's a distraction. I'm sorry, Green Wizard. I'm sorry you had to come in on this video because you don't really know what's going on. Gus is probably the only one that kind of knows. And that's not even the end of it. That's just the beginning. Okay, so me and Glop, you know, we've had our good days and our bad days, and we've forgiven each other, but I'm just not gonna go there. I'm not gonna buddy up with Robin. I'm not gonna do it. And Matthew in Time Watchman, he's too legalistic for me. He's just too legalistic, and there's no way you can follow the law. And we've just argued too much about it, and it just is what it is between me and Matthew and End Time Watchman. It just is. But I'm not even going to go into all that because that's not even the point. Hold on just a minute. I truly do love, I really do care a lot about Matthew still. I really do. I think Matthew has good intentions. I think he's trying to teach people. I think he's trying to teach people what he feels like is the right way of the Bible. And I think he does have good intentions when it comes to the Bible. Something just doesn't smell right, though. There's just something that doesn't smell right with the Robin thing and the Seder thing and the Justin thing, like, and the SJD. Like, there's just those specific ones. Everybody else, I can't really say for sure, but those four, SJD, the Saders, Robin, and Justin, those four, for sure, there's just something not right. There's just something not right. And I just pray that Glop and Matthew and Jerry don't get caught back up in it for, oh, I don't want to judge them, or oh, I just want them to know that they're loved and this and that, and I just know that it's a distraction, you know what I mean? And there's just something that doesn't smell right about it. Everything in my gut and my spirit and my soul just tells me there's something not right. And I would be a fool. I would be a fool to go back in any way. To any of these people. And I'm sorry, Matthew, and I'm sorry, Glop, for bringing up your names. But this truly is my testimony, and I'm sorry, but you're a part of it. You're a part of my testimony now, so get over it. So that's the beginning part of what happened to me. And I left it all behind. And I told myself, I'm never, ever going to get caught up into anything like that ever again. I told myself, I'm never going to believe anybody that says that they're an angel. I'm never going to believe anybody that brings up all these in-date prophecies like Harold Camping, or says that they're Jesus Christ, or any of this stuff. I'm never going to do that again. And I started doing really good. I started getting back on track. I started, reading my Bible. I started doing better. I started, just getting back on track. And then I had this dream. I had this dream about Global Witness. This is before I even knew Global Witness. All of this has happened for a reason, and this is my testimony. And I don't care whether you guys believe me or not. This truly happened. Everything I'm telling you has truly happened. And I'm not scared for my life. I just don't want to be distracted anymore. I'm not scared of SJD. I'm not scared of Robin. I'm not scared of Justin. I'm not scared of any of these people. I just don't want to be distracted anymore. I just want to live for Jesus. I'm sorry, you guys don't realize how hard this is. I'm not even supposed to be on here. Jesus doesn't even want me to be on here, you guys. So, I had this dream about Global Witness. Before I even knew who Global Witness was. And basically, the dream was it started out and everybody was running. I was running. We were all running away from something. It seemed like it was an end of the world situation. I don't know if it was bombs. I don't know if it was an earthquake. I don't know exactly what it was, but we were all running for our lives. And all of a sudden, this guy tackled me out of nowhere. And I didn't know who it was at the time. But he tackled me. And he held me down. And he started weaving me with like a spidery twine. Like a fly in a spider's web. And he didn't say anything other than... He didn't say anything at all. He just held me down and had this really mean look in his face, like, I'm gonna get you, look. And I'm not gonna let you go, look. And I'm gonna get you, look. And I started to kind of move my way out of his web. And he got even more of this mad look. Like, she's getting away, look. And like, it really made him mad. And I said, I knew I was gonna get away. And I asked him, who are you? And he said, Daddy. And I woke up from my dream. And I remember immediately after that dream, I knew that it had some significance. And I asked Jesus Christ, I said, who is this guy? And Jesus said, I'm warning you, stay away from this guy. Remember his face. And stay away from him. And stay away from his teachings. That's what Jesus told me. And then a month later, I started watching Global Witness. Granted, I had no idea who Global Witness was. I didn't know who he was. I heard of him, but I never watched his channel. And I found him through one of my other friends' channel. I was looking at one of my friends' channel, and I was scrolling through his subscriptions, and there was Global Witness, and I thought, well, if he likes Global Witness, then he's got to be good. So I went to Global Witness, and I started watching him, and this was a month after my dream, and I started watching Global Witness, and I watched him for about a week. And I was like, wow, you know, this guy's kind of cool, collected, you know. You know, he's got a lot of good points. But then he said something about how Jesus wasn't sacrificed. And then he said something about how... And he tried to twist it and contort it and try to make it seem okay. I don't know how to describe it, how he does it. And he does it in this smooth, calm, and collected, love and peace and hippie grease kind of style. I don't know how to describe it. And I'm not trying to judge these people. I'm just trying to warn you that there's just something that doesn't smell right about these people. And I did a video about my dream about him, and I got bashed for it, and I'm still getting bashed for it. Anyway, so I'm watching his videos a month after my dream. And I watched his videos for about a week, and I'm just like, yeah, there's some truths, but there's also some not truths. Like, he said Jesus wasn't sacrificed. He said Jesus doesn't have a name. And, Jesus, he said things like the serpent in the garden was a good guy, and things like that, that I'm just like, no way. I can't believe that. Who is this guy? What? Like, no way. Why, how could he believe in Jesus Christ and say these things? And I'm just thinking, who is this guy? And I prayed about it, and immediately, immediately, that dream come up in my subconscious. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I started praying about it. I started asking Jesus, who is this global witness guy? And boom, that dream went right back through my subconscious, right back through my spirit, right back through my brain. Just went right back through everything. And my jaw dropped because I was like, oh my God, that's the guy. And then I remember I started kind of like, I was truly baffled. I was like, no way. No way. So then I started looking up other people that supported Global Witness. And I started looking at other people that feel the same way I do about Global Witness. Like, maybe I'm not the only person that's had a dream about him, or, maybe I'm not the only person that feels this way about him. And because he had like 160,000 subscribers. So I'm like, how does somebody like this get so many subscribers and talks like this? Says he loves Jesus Christ, but also says he wasn't sacrificed, and all this other stuff that I'm not even going to go into. And I saw this video, and I'm trying to remember what his name is. It's like wisdom over gold. Or maybe it's knowledge over gold. Something like that. And it's called Analysis of Global Witness. Something like that is what the video name is called. And I watched that video, and I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. He was talking about all the same things that I brought up. He was talking about how, Global Witness isn't good, and how, and he was correcting him on all of the things that he was saying, and how he, is not good, and how we should steer clear away from him and his teachings. And he went through on a lot better way than I ever could of why. So you might want to look it up. Knowledge over gold, wisdom over gold, analysis of Global Witness. And anyway, so try not to get off track here. So then after I watched that video, I kind of scrolled down a little ways, and I saw this guy, and his name was Pastor of something. He was a pastor. And he said, you know what's weird? This was his comment. Somewhere along the lines of, you know what's weird is he, being Global Witness, seems like he's trying to lure in women with daddy issues. And I'm like, oh my God. And immediately that clicked with the dream that I had. And I had Jeffrey Daughtery, his little secondhand man, Global Witness's secondhand man, came in on my comments on my dream video and said, "Oh, what do you like Global Witness? Is he your daddy? Do you love Global Witness?" Or just started saying some really nasty, perverted things. And that also clarified to me that they were not good and that I should steer clear from them and that I should warn people about this guy, Global Witness. So I did. I did my whole dream video and I got bashed for it and I'm still getting bashed for it. And then after that, I met oh wait, then after that, okay, I met Alpha Omega and I met Eden Ministries and I met the Cummings because all three of them were also people that don't agree with Global Witness and think, he's a Luciferian. And the reason why I think he's Luciferian is not only because of my dream and because of Jesus warning me that he was Luciferian, that he was not good. I mean, I knew he wasn't good, but I didn't know that he was Luciferian until I started noticing that Global Witness was doing a thing out in the desert, out in Monument Valley, and he was talking about how he needed all this money for this computer equipment and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, this is even more reason why I need to do my dream video because I'm really worried about these people, you know what I mean? Like God has warned me about Global Witness and I got to warn these people that they shouldn't go out in the desert with this guy because he's not good juju and he's just not good. My gut was telling me to warn these people. If God's warning me of this guy, I should warn these people of this guy because they're going out into the desert with meeting this guy out in the desert and they're taking their kids out there with them and all this other stuff. And I'm really worried about these people. So that was another reason why I did my dream videos because I wanted to warn these people. And I was like, "Hello people, like don't go. Don't go out there." And then thanks, praise, why paradjust us. That means a lot to me because I've been to over 50 Hopi and Anasazi Native American Indian dwellings, and that is holy land. Those are ancient people, and I believe that they have been visited by Jesus Christ himself. I really do. There's something in me that tells me that they have either been visited by Jesus Christ himself back in the day. I believe that's what Prophecy Rock is. That they were visited by Jesus Christ or they were visited by an angel from Jesus Christ. And that's what how they got Prophecy Rock. How would they know that unless Jesus visited them? How would they know that unless an angel of the Lord come to them or Jesus came to them? So anyway, I'm getting off subject. So I'm trying to warn these people that are going out to Monument Valley to meet Global Witness. And I got bashed for it. And Jeffrey Daughtery, his right-hand man, bashed me for it and made fun of me for it and made perverted remarks to me about it. And I just mainly ignored everybody that said anything. I made a couple comments, but for the most part, I ignored them all. Because I knew, and Jesus told me, he said, you're going to get a lot of shit for this. He didn't say shit. He said, but you're going to get a lot of trouble for this. They're going to spiritually attack you. I mean, that's legit. That's legitly what he said. I mean, Guys, it's been battle after battle after battle after battle spiritually. And I'm talking spiritual battle with these people. They are conjuring things. It sounds like I'm crazy, but it's true. It's true. It's true. I know this sounds crazy. I know it does. I know it does. But it's true. Just like the others that happened the first go round with Robin and everybody else, they conjured up stuff. Anybody that was against them, they conjured against them. Same thing with Global Witness. Same game. Same wolf in sheep's clothing. Same game. Just different person. So, trying to remember where I was. I'm warning these people. And then, like a week later, I start watching Alpha Omega and the Cummings and Eden Ministries because these guys are like warning people about Global Witness as well. And I'm like, okay, these people are kind of cool. I was kind of weirded out by the Cummings at first because, I mean, let's just face it. At first glance, they look gay. I mean, give me a break. So, I met these people through Global Witness and all that stuff that happened because they also thought he was Luciferian. And then as I'm watching these people, I noticed that Alpha Omega put up this video about the newspaper of the Navajo Times, about how the Navajo shut down Monument Valley over Global Witness for people's protection and cult activity. And they specifically called Derek Bros a Gnostic Luciferian. Now, the Navajos don't just go name calling just for fun. And I didn't have that dream just for fun. And I had a lot of people like Matthew and Robin and a lot of other people tell me, God doesn't talk to you. There's no way God could be talking to you. How is God talking to you? And blah, 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 blah. And then I got it all over again with my dream. There's no way God's talking to you. Blah, 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 blah. And I actually proved it this time. I actually proved that God was talking to me because I did that dream a week before the Navajo put in their newspaper that this guy was bad juju. Not only did they run him out, they shut the whole place down, you guys. They didn't just run Derek Bros out. They didn't just run Global Witness out. They shut the whole place down. You don't just do that over some nimbly bimbly emo or goth kid or some guy that's just has problems. You know what I mean? So when the Cummings did a video, like all of a sudden after 3 or 4 weeks saying that there's something wrong with Global Witness, and then all of a sudden they make this video and they go live with Global Witness. And all of a sudden they go live with Global Witness like they're just buddies all of a sudden. And I'm like, what? I can't believe this. It's like Robin Hood and all this other stuff going all over again, but with just different people. And then all of a sudden Alpha Omega says he's an angel of the Lord. Can you believe this? Here we go again. Robin says he's the seventh angel. Alpha Omega thinks he's an angel too. Maybe all y'all should get together. Maybe all y'all should get together because y'all are nuts. And Eden Ministries, they think they're the two witnesses. You are not Elijah and Enoch. You guys are just like putting yourself on a high horse, acting like you're something that you're not because you think you have all this oh-so knowledge. I don't care how much you read the Bible. I don't care how much you read the Greek or the Hebrew or the Latin. You're never gonna figure out God. You're not. You are not going to figure out Him. He is mysterious. He is more powerful, more holy, more perfect than any of us could ever be. And I am the only one that'll come on here and say names. I am the only one that will come on here and say this. I am the only one that'll come on here and be real about it. And I was in absolute shock when the Cummings were all like, let's just get on Global Witness's bandwagon. Let's just start loving Global Witness after you've bashed him for 4 weeks saying that he's Luciferian, which I believe he's Luciferian too. I mean, I'm not going to do 4 weeks solid videos about him. You know, I'm going to do a couple and then be done with it. You know, you only need a couple warnings and then you be done. Yeah, not so anonymous anymore. It's a distraction. Global Witness is a distraction. SJD is a distraction. It's a distraction. That's what I've realized. And Jesus Christ has come to told me it is all a distraction. It has all been a distraction from the very beginning. All the way from Hood, all the way down. And Eden Ministries said, you know, I never sin, and I never do any wrong. And I tried to tell him, I was like, so you think you're perfect? You think you can never wrong? So you don't sin? And for a while there, he was kind of just beating around the bush and just asking other questions and then just trying to change the subject. And I said, Eden, answer my question. Do you sin or not? And he specifically told me, no, I do not sin. And then when I got onto the Cummings about being gay, he flipped on me and was all like, Pharisee, you're a hypocrite, and all this stuff. I've never said that I don't sin. And I will be the first one to come on here and say I was wrong. And I do feel wrong about judging the Cummings about their sexuality. But I do not feel wrong about warning them about Global Witness. I do not feel wrong about warning about people about SJD and these other people. I will never feel wrong about that. And if I'm wrong about their sexuality, then so be it. But if I'm right about it, if I'm right at all about it, at least I warned them. And if I'm wrong, then I've already asked forgiveness about it. I've already told Jesus. If I'm wrong about it, then I'm sorry. If they're truly trying to change their ways, then I'm sorry. But I had to at least tell them that being gay is wrong. If they're trying to change their ways, then so be it. Then I'm sorry. That's all I can do. Because I waltzed into their channel and they look gay. I mean, they do. I'm not trying to judge them. It's just the way it looks. If they're not gay, then I'm sorry. All I know is it says in Leviticus that it's an abomination to be gay, that a man should not be sleeping with another woman or another man like he's a woman. That's all I know. If they're trying to change their ways, then I'm sorry. But Eden wants to come into my videos and say, well, I just don't understand how she could point the finger and judge all these other people about their sin and all this stuff and call me a Pharisee when he's the only one that's ever said he's sinless, that he never does any wrong, that he's perfect, that he's one of the two witnesses. Seriously? And I'm like, whoa, here we go again. Here we go again. It's just with different people. Same game, different people. And I'm tired of being distracted from Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. He has better plans for me. I have done everything I can to warn you guys of these people. Now, if you guys want to go skip and frolic in the woods with these people, then go. But don't say I didn't warn you. And there's something that doesn't smell right when you say you're an angel. Something doesn't smell right when one day you're against a Luciferian and then the next day you're, oh, well, I don't want to judge him. Oh, well, you know, he understands LGBT. Or, oh, well, this and oh, well, that. There's something weird about that. So 1 minute you're not good with him and then the next minute you are. I mean, this isn't like kindergarten, you know, making sandcastles and somebody kicks it over and then you apologize the next day. These are Luciferians. They know what they're doing. They know how to lure you in. That's why I use 1 Timothy. I know, I'm kind of worried that maybe it is a setup. That's what I'm saying. LCJC family, I am worried that it was a setup to get people to trust Global Witness. Because 1 minute you don't like them and you reel people in, and then all of a sudden, Global Witness is this guy, cool guy all of a sudden. I don't get it. I mean, you guys aren't just saying 1 minute, oh, he hurt your feelings, and then the next day, oh, well, I forgive him. No, one day he's Luciferian, and then one day, oh, we're more alike than we are different. With a Luciferian? You're more alike than you are different with the Antichrist? I mean, you guys said this guy was the Antichrist. Hello? Hello? And SJD said he was Jesus. Hello? That's all the characteristics of the Antichrist. And you guys are all, well, I just want to make sure they know that they're loved. Oh, trust me. They know. Oh, you guys. Drive me nuts. Like, how many times do I have to warn you guys? How many times do I have to go, run! Run! And you guys run for a little while, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, you know, well, maybe they're good guys. They're not! They're coming after you with the spirit, they're gonna kill you spiritually. Something doesn't smell right. Whether the Cummings are trying to turn from being gay or transsexuals or not is kind of a moot point at this time. I mean, you either are for Jesus or you're against Jesus at this point. And I, for one, am not going to take any chances listening to a Luciferian or listening to somebody who believes in Harold Camping's prophecies or somebody who thinks they're the seventh angel in Revelation or somebody who thinks they're Enoch or Elijah. When I know in my heart that they're not. I know in my spirit and my soul, everything in me tells me these people are a distraction. Everything in my being tells me these people are a distraction. I'm not even supposed to be on here. Jesus has told me not to be on YouTube because I am not supposed to be on here. I'm not supposed to be distracted by this BS. Because that's what it is. It's all BS. You know what I mean? And who am I supposed to trust anymore? Who am I supposed to trust? Because one day the guy's Luciferian, and then the next day you're with him. And I'm supposed to trust you? One day the FBI is in an investigation, and SJD could be a threat. And then the next day, you guys are friends with them. And I'm supposed to trust you? I'm going to pray for you. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pray for you. I mean, Lord have mercy. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? My job's done here. My hands are clean. I don't have any more reason to be on YouTube. I've done everything I can for you guys. And you guys want to say that I'm oh so mean and I'm judgmental and I'm just so, such a witch and I'm just so this and so that and I'm just so hateful and I'm just unloving. I'm trying to warn you guys from these people. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. And God is a God of love, but he has a wrath too. Okay, let's not forget that. It doesn't work out so good for Luciferians. It doesn't work out so good for Satanists. It doesn't work out so good for gay people either. It doesn't work out so good for anybody that wants to be in the world of the world. We have to completely disconnect from the world and focus on Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. The more we disconnect from this world, the more he's going to help us, the more he's going to talk to us, the more he's going to let us know who to steer clear from and who to talk to and who to listen to, who to trust and who to not trust, where to go, where to not go, where is safe, where is not safe, who's shooting at you, who's not shooting at you, who's going to do this and who's going to do that. I promise you, the more you disconnect from this world, the more he will help you. He's done that for me. I know he can do that for you. I mean, I used to smoke pot all the time. The minute I quit smoking pot, he was talking to me. He was telling me where to go, what to do. He was just, I can't even describe to you. This is another testimony of mine. I was out in Montana, and I was out in this revival tent. And it wasn't like a normal church. It was like it was God's 10 Commandment park. And I didn't agree with everything that these people said, but there was just something about that place. It was just something about those people that I was just like, wow, these are really great people of God. And every time I went to that revival, I was just felt so at peace and so much just comfort and just, but at the same time, like convicted, like, man, I gotta quit smoking pot. And man, I really gotta get more serious about my walk, with Jesus. And man, I gotta start reading my Bible more. And man, I gotta really start studying. And man, I really gotta do this. I'm either all in or I'm not. It's either you're all in or you're not. And I don't know what it was. This guy prayed over me, and I went back to my travel trailer and I grabbed every single bottle of marijuana I had and every single pipe I had and I threw it all in a dump. And anybody that knows me would be like, "Oh my God, Ashley, what did you just do? I can't believe you just threw away all your weed. I've been smoking weed since I was 13 years old." Anybody that's been friends with me for a long time would every single one of them has been like, "What? You quit smoking weed?" I'm like, "Yeah, quit smoking weed." No, like you. You quit smoking weed. Like literally one of my friends laughed at me. He was like, "Ha ha 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 ha. You're joking, right?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not joking. I quit smoking weed. I've been clean for almost 5 months now." And he's like, "No, you're kidding." I'm like, "No, I'm not." He's like, "Oh, well, congratulations." But it was just something about it, and I just quit smoking weed. And then the next week, I go hiking and I go up on the top of the mountain in Montana. I go on top of this mountain and I'm hiking up there. And I go up on top. I like to go up on top of the highest peak I can find or wherever I just end up. Like I just end up somewhere. And I just go drive and I just find, oh, that might be a cool mountain peak to try to hike to. And I think I could probably get to it in a couple hours. And so I try to get to it, and sometimes I get to there, and sometimes I don't have enough time, and I have to come back, or whatever. So I got all the way to the top of this mountain peak, and I prayed and stuff, and I prayed, and then like I usually do, and just have a really good spiritual time with Jesus and sing and whatever. And then I get ready to leave, get ready to go back down the trail because I got to get back to my car. And my dog kind of goes off trail a little bit, and I go, "Hey, Scout, you need to come back on the trail. It's time to go home." And if ever I have ever heard Jesus's voice, it was this day. And it was a small, still, quiet, like almost like a whisper. And he said, "You're going home." I had just quit smoking weed. Something that Jesus had been telling me to quit doing for the last 3 years. And a week later, after I quit smoking weed, he tells me I'm going home. I couldn't believe it. I fell to my knees and I sobbed. Because listen, guys, I don't love Jesus because I'm scared of hell. I love Jesus because I really, really want to see him. I want to see him. I don't want. I'm going to die trying. I don't care what it takes. Do I always try as much as I should every day? No. Do I follow the law every day and the Sabbath and all that stuff? No, I do not, and nobody does. Don't let anybody tell you that they don't sin. Don't let anybody tell you that they follow the law 100% because they don't. And you should be careful listening to people that say those kind of things. All I know is I love Jesus and I want to see him. I want to be with him. He's the only thing I got in this world. I mean, I have a wonderful family and I have wonderful friends. There ain't nobody like Jesus. There's nobody like him. Nobody like him. I mean, he has protected me. He has done so much for me. I can't even testify enough to you everything that's happened in my life to prove to you what Jesus has done in my life. Okay, so I was up on that hill. He tells me, I'm going home. I fall on my knees. I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Because that's all I want. I just want to go home. I want to go to heaven. I want to see him. I want to be with him. And there's something inside me that tells me I'm going to be taking care of the animals. I don't know what that means. But anyway, so then a couple days later, I go on another hike and I go driving around and I'm looking for the lake out there. It's a different lake that I went to out there. And I started looking for this lake and I just kind of got sidetracked. There was this road that said Mia Shalom. And I had really kind of been getting into it with a couple legalistic people, trying to get these people to realize that there is a place for grace and there's a price for the law, and that there's a balance between those two because Jesus died for our sins and we're not saved by our works, lest any man boast, but you can't just go sin nimbly bimbly, you know. There's a verse that also says, you know, something about faith and works, and you're not saved by your works alone, but you're not saved by your faith alone either. You have to have faith and you have to have works. It's not one way or the other. It's both. But we all fail short. And God knows our hearts. He knows when we're trying. And he knows our weaknesses. So anyways, I see this sign. It says Mia Shalom. And I have been, you know, kind of like debating it out a little bit with some legalistic mind type people. You know, Hebrew kind of rights movement kind of people. And I'm like, okay, you know, maybe I should go see what this Mia Shalom thing is. So I turn up the road and the gate was like wide open and I drive up there and there's a missionary building up there, like a youth ministry building up there. And I kind of drive by it and then there's like these trails. There's like these walking trails and I'm like, "Sweet, I found, you know, some hiking trails." And one of them said, lookout to Electra Lake. And that was the lake I was trying to find, was Electra Lake. And I was like, sweet, there's a lookout point to Electra Lake. This is perfect. So I hike down this road, or this hiking trail, and I go down to the end of the path, and it just like stops in the middle of the woods. Like, I don't know whether like they like just quit doing construction on that trail or what the deal was, but like it just stopped in the middle of the woods. And there was like this big log laying across the trail, and I just kind of sat down and I thought, well, I was sitting there thinking at first, like, well, maybe I took the wrong trail. Well, maybe there was a trail back there. Maybe I missed a you know, a crossway or something. Maybe I missed something, and I'm just sitting there thinking, well, maybe I should go back and see if I missed a crossways or something, or a sign or something, because obviously this wasn't the lookout, and because it stopped in the middle of the woods and there was no lake, there was no lookout, nothing. And then I look down and there's a box. There's a box sitting there, like an ammo box, a plastic ammo box. And I'm like, what is this? So I open it up, and there's like a little notebook in there. It's from the youth camp. And I open the little notebook up, and it says, "You found it. Good job." And again, Jesus whispered to me in this small, still voice. He said, "Good job, good and faithful servant." And I bawled my eyes out. I bawled my eyes out again. Because just like a couple days before that, he told me I was going home. And all these legalistic people are distracting me. Distraction, distraction, distraction. You know, if you don't do this, you're going to hell. If you don't do that, you're going to hell. If you don't do this, you're going to hell. If you say amen, if you say amen, then you're worshiping Amen Ra. And you can't say amen. You got to say shalom. Oh, you can't say shalom. You have to say amen. And if you don't say amen, then you're going, just all this, all this crap. So even though God had told me 2 days before that, I'm going home, I had all that crap the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. And then so it got me all distracted again, and it got me thinking, am I really going home? And blah, 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 and all this, and got me all worried again. So the whole time I was going down that trail to that box, I was like, I just want to make sure I'm praising you right. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right, Jesus. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. And then I find that box. And then he tells me, "Good job, good and faithful servant." And every time somebody distracts me, Jesus tells me, "Don't forget what I told you. You're going home. You're going home, you're going home, you're going home, you're going home." And he keeps telling me that every single time, every single time, every single time I get distracted, every single time somebody distracts me, every time some Luciferian piece of crap tries to distract me, every time some legalistic mindset, whatever, tries to distract me, he tells me, "You're going home, you're going home, you're going home." And oh, how he's protected me. And oh, how he has comforted me. And I will never set myself on a high horse because I am no better than anybody else. I am a sinner just like anybody else. I'm not an angel. I'm not Jesus. I'm not a witness. I don't need nobody but Jesus. You don't need nobody but Jesus. Nobody needs any acceptance from anybody but Jesus. You don't need acceptance from Global Witness or the Cummings or Robin or SJD or Justin or Glop or Matthew or anybody. All you need is Jesus. You don't need acceptance from a church or from a pastor or from a missionary or from anybody but Jesus. And no, I was wrong for judging the Cummings sexuality. If they're turning away from that, then great. And I shouldn't judge that. And I should have done a better video over that. I should have been more worried about, I should have talked more about what my point was. Which was, why are you waltzing around in the woods with Global Witness? And I don't mean that literally. I mean that spiritually. And it's a shame that I have to say that. Because some people say literally, I'm not waltzing around the woods with global witness. I'm tired of this distraction, the distractions. I'm tired of it. This whole year and a half almost that I've been on YouTube, it's been distraction after distraction after distraction after distraction. And I was up in the Idaho mountains and I was bawling my eyes out to Jesus up there. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And he told me, again, with a small whisper of voice that's always short and sweet, I want you to get off YouTube. And I'm like, really? You want me to get off YouTube? What if I'm helping people? What if this and what if that? And, I gotta warn these people. And he told me, at least for just a year. And I didn't do it. I got back on here and I started doing my videos again and everything was going really good until Global Witness, and then there was again distraction, 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 distraction. I'm an angel. I'm the two witnesses. I'm a this. I'm a that. Distraction, distraction, distraction. I'm telling you, Jesus, there's no wisdom that anybody can give you more than what Jesus can. You just have to have eyes to see and ears to hear. You really do. And I'm telling you, the more you get rid of this world, and one of the things I had to do, which was of the world, was smoking weed. I had to get rid of it. And I was smoking it, and I was saying, well, I'm smoking it because of my anxiety, or I'm smoking it because of, my depression, or whatever. And I didn't realize it until I quit smoking that I didn't need it. I didn't need it. That Jesus was my antidepressant. That Jesus was my anti-anxiety pill or my anti-anxiety medicine. That, Jesus gives me the courage. That Jesus is the one who helps me. That Jesus is everything. Jesus protects me. Jesus, everything. And I mean, I really, really, really had to realize that. I mean, smacked in the face. Full-fledged 2x4 realized it. That, I didn't need it, and I struggle still with some things, with some sins, like cussing. Sometimes I get a little passionate. And I realize that after a while, sometimes I'm yelling. I have a problem with that too. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'll be the first one to come on here and tell you that I'm not perfect, that I'm a sinner, that I need Jesus' grace. I'm not going to come on here and tell you that I'm like Eden Ministries or like Mr. Eden and tell you that I don't sin and that I don't do any wrong. I'm definitely not going to say somebody's Luciferian one day, especially when a newspaper says that somebody's Luciferian. There's a big problem there. A big problem when a newspaper clipping says that you're this, and then the next day you're off skipping off into the woods with them into the darkness. And I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, literally, that's what I feel like spiritually happened to me. And I'm like, where are you going? and they're just skipping off into the woods, into the darkness. That's kind of how I felt with Glock too. I'm like, what are you doing? There they go, skipping off into the woods, into the darkness with these other people that we know could be dangerous. You know, I'm starting to wonder if they're scared. Are they scared? Have they been threatened? Have these people said, you know, because I know Eden come in and threatened me. He come in and he said, if you don't take down your video, then I'm going to rip your video apart and I'm going to this and I'm going to that with your video. Like, he tried to scare me. You know what I mean? Is that all it takes for you guys to, I'm like perplexed. I'm kind of with, I'm kind of with, LCJC family. Like, is this all been like from the get-go? Like, have you guys been like, has this just been a setup like the whole time? Because it just doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't smell right to me. For one day, they're Luciferians, and even the Hopi and Navajo are like, these guys are Luciferians. We probably better shut it down and purge our land of these evil, satanic Luciferian people. And then the next day, you're like, oh, why don't we just get on live with Global Witness and talk about LGBT and be all cool with them now? And it's not, and what's weird to me is, and I'm sorry, but over the LGBT topic? Is that by chance? That's just weird to me that you would pick that topic to buddy back on with. And again, I'm sorry if I'm judging you wrongfully on your sexuality, but I'm just like, something doesn't smell right. I'm just like perplexed. You know, and I knew I shouldn't have got back on YouTube, and I got back on YouTube tonight. And I saw some of the comments from the Cummings. And that's why I did the video on First Timothy, because, you know, I don't want to judge people wrongfully. That's not the kind of person I am. I don't want to do that. But when something doesn't smell right, it doesn't smell right. And whether I say it in the wrong way or not, or whether I handle it in a wrong way or not, doesn't justify the stench. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, well, you handled this wrong, and you handled that wrong, and you yelled, and you cussed. That doesn't justify the stench that's lingering out of that situation. You know what I mean? I just don't want people to get distracted. I don't want to be distracted anymore. I just want to focus on Jesus Christ right now. And I think we all should just focus on him. And quit worrying about the two witnesses, or when the end of the world is, or whatever, or the rapture, or whatever. If you have a relationship with Jesus Christ, he's gonna let you know. He's gonna. And it's gonna be obvious when he comes back. It's not gonna be somebody like SJD. That was the other thing Eden said that was like, what? Because if you're one of the two witnesses, right? Okay? If you're one of the two witnesses, then you would know that SJD is Jesus. You'd know that. But he's not. And neither are you. Because you're just a distraction. No shit. No shit, guys. I mean, it's like, what are people thinking? The moment Robin said that he was the seventh angel, I'm like, what? I mean, I'm like, okay, come on. You love Harold Camping. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I know. I know that too. I'm in the book of Ezekiel right now. I mean, it's just, you either serve Jesus or you want to be Jesus. That's what it seems like there is on YouTube. There's the people that serve Jesus, and then there's the people that want to be Jesus. Or they want to be Ezekiel, or they want to be Elijah, or they want to be Enoch, or they want to be one of the two witnesses, or they're an angel, or it's like, no, you're not. And you're not perfect either. I mean, Jesus would have died in vain if we were perfect. Why would somebody die for your sins if you could live a sinless life? If it was possible to live a sinless life, why would you die? That does not make sense to me. Why would you die if it was possible to live a sinless life other than Jesus? Jesus was the only one that lived a sinless life. And anybody and everybody who sets a date, it will not be that date. It won't be that date. It will not be that date. It might be the day before, it might be the day after, but it's not going to be that day. It's going to be on a day that nobody knows. It's going to be a day when you least expect it to happen. That's the other thing. Eden, the guy from Eden Ministries, he said, "How dare you judge overdue champion?" I was like, dude, I've known this guy for a year. He said he was Jesus Christ. If you were one of the two witnesses, you should have known that, Eden. You should have picked up on that. If whether he is Jesus or not Jesus, you should have picked up on whether he was Jesus or he wasn't Jesus. You're one of the two witnesses. You're Elijah. You're Enoch. You're one of the two witnesses, or maybe even Moses. You're one of the two witnesses. How come you didn't figure that out, Eden? I mean, come on. You're supposed to know these things. And the other thing is, if you're an angel, right? Alpha Omega, how do you not know this? How do you not know that SJD is the Christ? How do you not know that? You know, I'm starting to wonder if you're a good angel or a bad angel. Or not an angel at all. And if you are an angel, you're not a good one. If you are an angel, because to be honest, I think y'all are nuts. I really do. Everyone who said that they're an angel or they're one of the two witnesses or they're Jesus Christ, y'all are nuts. Like for real. And y'all call me crazy for having dreams, warning dreams and stuff. I'm just trying to warn you guys. These people are crazy. And they are trying to distract you and deceive. And the devil is good at deceiving people. And he will use the love card. He'll use the thou shalt not judge card. And he'll lure you right back in. And he'll laugh at it while he's doing it. He's got a lot of minions out here. The devil does. I can't help but feel like the devil is at work here in some sort of way. And whether you're innocent in it or not, you're being reeled right into it. And I feel like a lot of these guys know what they're doing. Like Robin and Justin and Global Witness. They know what they're doing. I'm almost not quite sure Eden and Alpha Omega know what they're doing. But I don't want to judge nobody. I don't want to be this witch, I don't want to be this horrible person. When really, I'm just trying to warn you guys. I really actually love you guys and I'm trying to warn you guys. You might want to be careful what you say. You don't want to proclaim that you're Jesus. That's not good. You don't want to proclaim that you're an angel when you're not. That's not good. And even David, Eden's buddy David, did a video and said, he took it down, of course, because Eden got to him about it. But he put up a video and said, I don't want to live in this lie anymore. I don't want to, you know, be on this high horse anymore. I don't want to live in this lie anymore. Even David said so himself. And we all thought maybe his account got hacked into or something. But he did a video following that and said, no, my account wasn't hacked into. It's me, David. I just don't want to live in a lie. And I don't want to be on this high horse anymore. Meaning he doesn't want to be on this high horse saying that he's one of the two witnesses with Eden. Even David knows it's wrong what they're saying. And he just keeps doing it because Eden was like, really? You're my best friend. You're my buddy. You're my pal. Am I supposed to do this all alone? Oh, boo hoo hoo. David, do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, we all have a choice to make in this. We really do. And I don't care if SJD comes and pulls me out of my house and cuts my head off. Because I would rather that happen to me than feel scared and go buddy up with these people or want to be accepted or oh, I probably better love these people or I don't want to judge these people or I don't want to be hated or I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or whatever, so I probably better say something, or I probably better apologize, or I probably better this, or I probably better that. No. If y'all want to go frolic off into the darkness, bye. Bye. I'll be staying right here with Jesus. And again, I'm not trying to boast. I'm not any more important than anybody else. And those people that are frolicking off into the woods can come back to the light anytime they want to. They can come back and repent anytime they want to. And I did it too. I frolicked off into the woods a couple times into the darkness, and I had to come back myself. But I've done it enough times to know that I ain't gonna do it again. I'm not gonna do it again. I don't care what it takes. And it takes a lot of damn guts for me to come on here and say what I've said tonight. A lot of damn guts. Because I've literally said everything that I know and everything that's happened to me on YouTube. Between Robin and and the Sater twins and Global Witness and Eden and the Cummings. I have said it all out tonight. Every bit of it. I have laid it all on the table to let everyone know why I'm not going to be on YouTube for a long while. Not only everything that's happened on YouTube, because Jesus says, telling me to get off of YouTube. He's trying to protect me from these distractions, from these people. Why would Jesus want to protect me from an angel of the Lord? Why would Jesus want me to protect me from SJD if he's Jesus? Why would Jesus want to protect me from Robin if he's an angel? Oh, but I'm just crazy. And I'm sure that this video is going to get all hacked up into pieces. And I'm sure the Saters will hack it all up and make fun of me and make a big old video about it. When all I've been trying to do is warn you people. This whole time I've been trying to warn you people. And there's the other thing. When we go to heaven, there ain't going to be I told you so's up there. I'm not going to go to heaven and go, I told you so. I told you this and I told you that. No. We're going to embrace each other. These are the beginning of the last days. And we have to be top notch. Top notch. And I, for one, am tired of the distractions. Tired of it. I haven't even got done with this video, and I've already got people bashing me. I haven't even got done with this video, and I've already got people tearing into it. That is scary, Gus. That is scary. There's been a lot of false prophets, false witnesses, false Christ, false disciples. And that comes with the day and age that we are in, you guys. That's why we gotta be top notch. The other thing about Alpha Omega, okay, if he's an angel, alright? He has a wife and a baby. Okay? from what I remember out of the Bible and out of the book of Enoch, the only angels that sleep with women and have babies are not the good ones. Are not the good ones. I've been on here for 2 hours. I am not going over the whole thing again. I'm not doing it. Okay? It's too much. Too much. I've been through a lot of shit through this fucking YouTube. Excuse my language, but it's true. I've really had enough. I really have. I've had enough of the distractions. You know what I mean? And I love the people that support me. And, I really hope that I have helped people. I really do. I mean, I have a couple friends that are like, don't quit YouTube, and bless their hearts. I mean, they're wonderful. This is a wonderful guy I'm talking about. He's a humble man, and, he wants me to stay on YouTube because he thinks I'm helping people. And I'm not saying that I'm not helping people. I mean, I'm sure there's a handful of people that I might be helping on here, but I gotta focus on Jesus right now. I gotta stay focused. Hey, a biker for Christ. I saw one of your videos and I really enjoyed it. If you want to know what's going on, you can rewatch this video later. And it'll tell you everything, exactly everything. I gave my whole testimony of YouTube and why I'm not going to be on it for a long while. Because I really gotta focus on Jesus. I really do. And you know what? A biker for Christ, thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. You're one out of the few people, along with Praise Why Parajust Us and Steven and Gus, and I'm missing somebody, LCJC family and others that have, really been there for me. And, I have had the people that have been there for me. And, I might not always handle situations in the best way, in the most positive way, in the most humblest way, but I really have tried to warn people and to not be distracted by false prophets and false witnesses and false angels and false Christs. And I mean, it's just almost mind-blowing everything that I've been through on YouTube. But I also know that I went through this for a reason. This was like a crash test course for what's really getting ready to happen with all this spiritual battle that's going on right now. And this, with everything that happened with Robin and SJD and Tyler and all of those people and the satyrs and then and then going through all that, and then now going through with Global Witness and the Cummings and Eden and all of that, it's just like battle after battle after test after test after training. It's like a spiritual training. That's what it feels like to me. It really does. It feels like a spiritual training. And God is just like trying to see how you're going to do. How are you going to do? Are you going to ask him for help, or are you going to just skip off into the darkness? Or you know what I mean? Like, it's like, how are you going to deal with it? Are you going to be deceived? Or are you going to endure till the end? And this is just prep work for what's getting ready to come. And it really is. It's just training. And my question, I wonder, is sometimes if some of these people are innocent and they're just feeling sorry for Robin, or they're just feeling sorry for Global Witness, or they're just feeling sorry for some of these people, My question is, if you're so easily swayed, whether it be you don't want to judge that person, or whether it be, oh, you want to love that person, or whether it be whatever it is. If you're, or acceptance, that's what I was trying to think of. Or whether you want to be accepted, or whatever it is. If you're so easily swayed by those things on YouTube, seriously? How are you not going to be swayed in the depths of what's getting ready to happen? I mean, you're so easily swayed already. I'm not saying don't love these people, but my God, just pray for them. Just pray for them. You don't have to go holding their hands and skipping off into the darkness with them. You know what I mean? And a lot of people saying, well, that's not what we're doing. Well, yeah, you are. You are. And we got to be careful of that. Not because you don't want to love that person, or not because you don't, want to judge that person or whatever. It's because you don't want to be deceived by that person. You don't want to get distracted by what God really has set for you. By God, what God's really trying to protect you from. By what God's really trying to teach you. You know what I mean? It's not about love. It's not about judging somebody. It's about staying focused on Jesus. And that's what we have to do. And we all have a job to do here. We all have a job to do. I know. I mean, a lot of people, and it doesn't take somebody that just says that they're an angel, or somebody that says they're one of the two witnesses, or somebody says that they're Jesus Christ or whatever. It could just be a pastor. It could just be a minister. Some people look up to these people way too much. And then before you know it, in a sense, they're worshiping that pastor. They're worshiping that minister. I mean, they're not literally doing that. Like, they're not literally bowing down to them and saying, praise so and so. But in a spiritual sense, they are, because they're looking for all their knowledge from that pastor. They're not reading their Bible. They're not asking Jesus Yeshua for the answers. They're looking up to a pastor or a minister. We shouldn't be doing that. We should be focusing on Jesus and Jesus alone. We should. That's why I worry about these people that are so swayed so easily. They're like, oh well, I don't want to judge him, so maybe I should go be distracted by them a little more. No, just pray for them. Just pray for them. Because when you go to their channel and you go to try to support them live, they're going to start saying stuff to distract you and to sway you. And then before you know it, you're running off into the darkness, into the woods spiritually. That's what happens, and it happens real quick before you know it. Then all of a sudden, you're standing in the darkness, and you're like, wow, how did this happen? And I'm trying to warn people, okay, anybody says that they're an angel, especially if they have a wife. I mean, seriously, this guy said he was an angel, but he has a wife and children. The last time I checked, angels don't have children. Angels don't have sex. They don't. And the ones that did were not good ones. That's what worries me about these people that say that they're angels. That's what worries me about these people that say that they're the two witnesses. That's what worries me about these people that say that they're Jesus. I mean, If you really are an angel, you, you're not a good one. If you are, that's to you, Alpha Omega. Like seriously. And I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm just saying, legit. Like angels don't have babies, and the ones that do are not good. They're the Nephilims. They're not good. Not good angels. And anybody that speaks out against these people get bashed and trashed on. And I don't care about getting bashed and trashed on. I'm the first person to come on here and tell you whether I'm wrong or, I'll be the first person to come on here and tell you that I'm a sinner. I'm the first person to tell you that I need Jesus because I'm a sinner. Be the first person to tell you that I got a lot to learn and all this other stuff. I'm not perfect. Don't come on here and say that I'm perfect like Global Witness does and like Eden does. Because we're not. And the minute that we do say that, we're liars. And I'm sorry if I have judged anybody wrongfully in any way. But I know what my gut tells me, and I know what my soul and my spirit tells me. And I just want people to know why I'm not going to be on here for a long while. Because it's time for me not to be distracted anymore. It's time for me to stay focused on Jesus alone. And I just pray that you guys don't sway so easily for it. Whether it be somebody slips out the thou shalt not judge card, or whether somebody slips out the love card, or somebody slips out the acceptance card. Don't be so easily swayed. Because there's going to be a lot more than just the devil. He's got a lot of minions. And there are a lot of minions on YouTube right now, I've noticed, that are trying to deceive and distract and twist and contort stuff. I mean, we have to be careful when we listen to these people, and it's really just better off. I mean, if you really want to love these people, pray for them. Pray for them. It's really just better off to not be on their channel and to not listen to them. And it's really sad to me because I did support these people until they started saying that they were the two witnesses and that they were angels and stuff like that. I used to support Robin. I used to support SJD. I used to support all these people until they started saying they were angels and Jesus Christ and all this stuff. I've already been there, done this. That's what I was trying to tell Eden. I've already been there, done that. I've already played this game. I've already played their game with Robin and SJD. So when Global Witness and Eden and the Cummings come along, I was kind of like, well, I know what that smells like. You know what I mean? Like, it's not new to me now, this deception. It's not new to me now. It's not. But I worry about the innocent people in this because a lot of the hierarchy of these people know what they're doing. They know what they're doing and they know who they are. And they're going to lie about who they are. And they're going to set things up to try to get more people. The devil wants to deceive people, even if the elect, if possible. But it's not possible. I'm telling you, the elect are not going to be deceived. If possible. Not is possible. We gotta stay strong in this, you guys. We really do. Like, this is my last warning. It really is. And what I gotta say to the Cummings is, stay away from Global Witness. Like, seriously. Because if you don't stay away from Global Witness, especially after everything you said about Global Witness, it really makes me feel like you were doing this the whole time on purpose. As a setup. And if I'm wrong, then so be it. You know, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But everything in my spirit tells me that I'm right. You know what I mean? And Jesus is telling me to stay off of YouTube to protect me. He's not telling me to stay off of YouTube because I don't know what I'm talking about. He's telling me to stay because I know that's what you're going to say. I know that's what you're going to say. He just told me that that's what you're going to say. They're going to say, well, Jesus is telling you to stay off of YouTube because you're crazy and you don't know what you're talking about and you need more studying. That's why Jesus no. No. He's telling me to stay off of YouTube to protect me. And if I would have never got back on YouTube again, Global Witness would have never known who I was. Eden would have never known who I was. And the Cummings would have never known who I was. But because I disobeyed and I got back on YouTube because I thought I was helping somebody, which maybe I was, but I really have to focus on Jesus right now. And I'm sorry for anybody that I was helping, and I'm sorry for anybody that supports my channel that's going to miss me or whatever. I'm really, really sorry. But I really have to do what I have to do. I've really got to get back on track and focus on Jesus. This last week that I've been off YouTube has been absolute ambiance. It has just been awesome being off YouTube. I've just been more clear-minded. I've been studying my Bible more. I've been writing more music to Jesus. I've been, there's only 2 people on YouTube right now that Jesus has told me you can watch. And that's Jose Sigarani and Daniel Orfield. Those are the only 2 people that Jesus has told me I can watch. Everybody else, he's told me steer clear from. And not because they're all bad. Because, I don't listen to just the Cummings or Robin and all them, but, like the Impossible channel. That's a good channel. But to Jesus, it's not as important as focusing on him. It's just not. It's not. And in these times, we have to focus on Jesus. We have to. But anyway, it's 5 o'clock in the morning here, and I have to go to work at 1. So I probably better get off here. In a way, I really don't want to leave YouTube because I do want to help people come to Jesus. I really do. And it really is as simple as believing in him and trusting in him. But you can't just believe. You do have to turn away from your sins. And it is not easy to turn away from your sins. It is not something that you just snap of the finger and you just, boom, don't sin anymore. You're always going to be a sinner. You're always going to have lingering thoughts. You're always going to have whatever. But you do have to try. You have to try to turn away from your sins, which means you got to quit smoking. You got to quit drinking. You got to quit pornography. You got to quit cussing. You got to quit cheating on your wife. You got to whatever it is. You got to become a new creature. You really do. You can't just go to church every Sunday and then never read your Bible and listen to a pastor, and you can't You can't just believe. And I used to believe that too. I used to believe that, well, I believe and that's good enough. It's not. It's not. You really have to go all in. You really do. And it's not something that happens overnight. It's really not. But it's also not something that's so strict that you feel like God is punishing you every day for your sin. There is definitely a balance between the law and grace. There's both. You have to be obedient. You have to, works is love and charity, and I can't remember all the other ones in that Bible verse, but you can't have just faith and no works, but you can't have all works and no faith. You have to have both. And Jesus knows your heart. He knows when you're really trying. He really does. He knows when you're really, really, really trying. I really do love all you guys. Even the deceivers out there, even the ones that I talked about that I'm trying to warn people of. I really do love you guys too. I really do. And I really hope that you guys just see that I'm just trying to help you guys. And I just hope you guys realize that I've been through a lot through YouTube, through all this. And that I really just I don't trust people that say that they're angels or 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 Jesus or witnesses or anything like that. I don't trust you guys. And I never will trust you guys. I don't. And I'm definitely not going to go run to their channel and be all lovey-dovey with them when I know they're not good. Why should I put my soul and my body and my spirit and my brain in knowledge in jeopardy? Why should I do that? When I can love them from afar. When I can pray for them from afar. I mean, there's no need. There's no need to do that. And we all have a job to do in this, like I was saying before. Somebody might be a shield person or somebody might be a sphere person. When it comes to spiritual battle, spiritually, in a spiritual aspect, we're all going to be trained in a different way. Like the shield person is trained differently than a sphere person. A sword guy is trained differently than a shield person. But together, we can get through this. Together, spiritually, we don't need to be on YouTube to be spiritually together. I really do love you guys. Thanks for supporting me. You might see me again, but it won't be in a long, long while. Because I really do have to focus on Jesus. I really, really do. And I'm a lot happier when I'm not on YouTube. So not only do I have to do it for Jesus and for spiritual training purposes, I have to do it for myself. And thank you guys for understanding it. I really love you guys. I ain't gonna miss you guys. Like, I do miss you guys. So it's kind of hard too because I do miss some people on here. But it is what it is. Thanks for understanding, and may God be with you all.